Introduction to the Handbook of Modern Student Characteristics. Modern students can be said to be diverse, and this book aims to help others better understand the true composition of current students. Feature 1. Pinpoint Learning. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. It's another exciting day of the year for countless students. On the road outside the third middle school in the district, a traffic jam that hasn't been seen for 2 months kicked off with the sound of traffic police whistles. Li Ziyu couldn't help but feel 1,000 emotions as he watched the small cars blocking traffic on the lane and the electric cars that even drove onto the sidewalk. On the one hand, he had a new beginning, and on the other hand, he had new assignments. He turned his gaze back and glanced at his watch. What? It's already 7:23, only 7 minutes left. Without time to complain, he hastily adjusted the position of his backpack on his shoulder and ran out with all the energy of a 50-meter run in physical education class. But he didn't realize that others were staring at him with puzzled and silly eyes. Li Ziyu ran all the way into the school gate and headed towards the nearest teaching building. Class 71, Class 72, Class 73. No, on the second floor. He combined 2 steps and went to the second floor to find his class. Finally, he found the words, Class 78, in the corner, and when he ran over, he almost fell due to the slippery floor. However, there was no danger at all. Li Ziyu finally arrived at the classroom at 7:28, but there were not many people in the classroom, only nearly 30. Although Li Ziyu did not know, he was greatly shocked. There were still more than 10 people who did not arrive in the classroom at 7:28. Or are there only a few 30 people in their class? Although Li Ziyu was a social anxiety and introverted, he still patted the front table, of course, because it was a social anxiety. He immediately withdrew his hand after clapping, and said, "Well, why are there so many people in our class who haven't arrived yet? It's almost 30. What's wrong with 30? Isn't there still 10 minutes left? Isn't there school before 7:30? No wonder when I saw you come in, you were as urgent as going to the restroom. You should arrive before 7:40 today, big sister." "Thank you, Auntie." Although the person in front intentionally called him big sister, he pulled Li Ziyu back from the brink of social death at the wrong time, and Li Ziyu also replied with a "Auntie," so Li Ziyu still thanked him a bit. There's no way, adults can forgive him if they don't remember the faults. Soon, Li Ziyu started chatting with the person in front of him. "Why don't you know the time? I can see quickly." "Oh, isn't your symptom called blindness? Hey, I thought you were quite nice before." After a while of cursing, I guess I was tired of it. The person in front of me changed the topic and said, "Do you believe that you are not the only blind person like you? It's not that you're trying again, is it? No, what I mean is, you're not the only one who pinches like you. Isn't that right? If no one pinches it, something big will happen." I said you're blind and you don't believe it. Look, you don't even know about pinching it. Are you blind? I remember someone even forgot what time they arrived in the classroom. What the two of them said was not a lie. According to post-event statistics, there were 3 people who had just arrived at the classroom in Class 78 at 7:39. There were a total of 14 people who arrived at the classroom at 7:39 in 10 classes of the 7th grade. So it can be inferred from this that someone must arrive in the classroom before class every day, even on the first day of school. Feature 2. Self-cooked. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Li Ziyu and the person in front of him, although they had never met before, for some reason, became acquainted at first sight and quickly started chatting. "Aha! Isn't this the Little Prince of Chinese? We're still in the same class." A voice that made Li Ziyu feel a little familiar sounded. Li Ziyu looked up and saw a familiar face, but it was only familiar. Yang. Ah no. Su. Su what? Li Ziyu recognized him as his elementary school classmate, but couldn't remember his name. Forget it, I don't blame you for senile dementia. Su Taomin, did you just remember? Should I go get you a mirror and show you how cheap your expression is now? Su Taomin. Oh. Isn't this my good son? Li Ziyu suddenly realized and gave a wise look. You. Who is your son? Aren't you my daughter? Su Taomin exchanged an eye for an eye and also revealed himself. A wise gaze. By the way, do you know him? Su Taomin continued pointing to the person in front of Li Ziyu. I don't know, no, I only know. No, how did you two start chatting? I don't know, do you know that? Su Taomin asked Li Ziyu's front desk. He doesn't even know, how do I know? Su Taomin's brain was not yet advanced enough to handle such complex problems, so he sat next to Li Ziyu and thought about life. Oh, by the way, what's your name? Wang Xiaodong, what about you? Speak in person. What's your name? Up. Fairy, I'm your grandson. You should also speak to me quickly. Li Ziyu. Alright, my first friend in junior high school was you. What about me? Su Taomin interjected beside him. When did you become my friend? Li Ziyu said and added, aren't you always my sons? I think it works, Wang Xiaodong agreed. By the way, since your father is my friend now, you can call me uncle. If it really doesn't work, uncle can do it too. Stay where it's cool. Su Taomin got up and went to the restroom. He really didn't want to talk to the two elderly dementia patients. Since then, the strange network of relatives has increased again. Most students nowadays can chat together while sitting. For example, the author himself once participated in an activity organized by the school, and I was the only one in our class who went there. Sitting next to me is a person from class 9, I am from class 8. We had only known each other for less than 10 minutes when he and the other 12 people from class 9 unilaterally admitted that I was from class 9. So I almost always followed the people from class 9 during that activity. Later, I was taken from a social anxiety group to the street where I could shout, collect old phones, computers, washing machines, motorcycles, electric scooters. I really did that. So, foolishness can be contagious among students. Feature 3. Your circle is really chaotic. You are listening at novel full.audio. Quickly, the class bell rang, almost identical to the bell used by Li Ziyu in elementary school. The homeroom teacher walked in, doing things that were no different from all the homeroom teachers, and speaking words that were no different from all the homeroom teachers. The main idea was to welcome everyone to the new class, let everyone progress together, and then start introducing themselves. It's all the same, but then again, what if it's not like that? Should the homeroom teacher scold the students as soon as they come in? Impossible. So some things are not something you want to do, but something you have to do. Li Ziyu thought like this, since it's not a formal class, even if you don't listen carefully, it's okay. As long as you can remember your name, that's all. The class bell suddenly rang. No, this should be the end bell. The school's class bell may be the same as the end bell. Classmates, the next class is math class. Get ready for class. Come, this student, and you, yes, it's you. Come with me downstairs and bring the math book up. After the class teacher finished speaking, he led the lucky ones away. Never mind, what kind of bell does he have for class? Let's talk after class first. Li Ziyu stretched lazily, but when his hand reached down from under the table, it suddenly hit the table leg. Oh, I'm going, hiss. Ah. It hurts so much. Oh my, what's wrong with you? Are you suffering from hemorrhoids or having a long brain? Do you need me to call the crematorium? Su Taomin gritted his teeth in pain when he saw Li Ziyu, feeling extremely happy. He couldn't help but let Li Ziyu bump into his hand every day. I have to say, he is really Li Ziyu's good brother, son. Unfamilial descendants, with a smiling face, come and help your father and me. Li Ziyu had already forgotten the pain and only wanted to give his son a love education. Shut up, you. Who is your son? That's right, he's not your son. Wang Xiaodong turned around and said to Li Ziyu. Hey, it's not Wang Xiaodong. What do you mean, why isn't he my son? It's my daughter. Su Taomin. The author still remembers when I was in elementary school, I had a grandmother, a father, a second uncle, a son, 2 grandchildren, and a great-grandson. The happiest of them was calling me my son. He didn't admit it at first, but later agreed to it. In the end, he even took the initiative to call me Dad, which made me happy. Feature 4. Stereotypes are present year after year, especially this year. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Before Su Taomin, Wang Xiaodong, and Li Ziyu could explain their family relationships clearly, the class bell rang and the 3 had to return to their seats. Son, please wait. After class, I will definitely prove my blood relationship to you. Li Ziyu angrily returned to his seat. Daughter, wait for me. Dad will come to pick you up after class, Wang Xiaodong replied, unwilling to be outdone. Puff. Cough, cough. Cough. Ah. I'm your mother. Su Taomin, who had just finished arguing and was about to sit down and drink a glass of water, was completely shocked. Not long after, the homeroom teacher returned with those few free laborers, each holding a dozen or so books in their hands. There is also an old man in his 50s and 60s who is undoubtedly a math teacher with his iconic bald head. Don't ask why, asking is just a stereotype. Cough, please be quiet and introduce yourself. My name is Shi Aimin and I am your math teacher. Li Ziyu will not roast about math teachers because he is too lazy to roast. Alas, the math teacher in elementary school was bald, but by middle school, he became bald. So, isn't he bald by high school? Li Ziyu is convinced. The first chapter of the Suk edition mathematics book is, We Walk with Mathematics. To be honest, it doesn't have much technical content. Junior high school mathematics can still have such simple content, so let's cherish it. Li Ziyu, with a conflicting mentality of, it's rare to have such a simple class, listened to it, and, this class is so simple, why don't we just skip it, listened while fishing until the class was over. Sure enough, when you have conflicts, choosing all is the best. The full selection is really useful for Li Ziyu, a patient with choice difficulties. Of course, Li Ziyu didn't think much about it, after all, he still had to snatch his son, daughter, from Wang Xiaodong and prove his parent-child relationship with the son who was sentenced to rebellion. But Su Taomin, the son of a dog, seemed to have been prepared and immediately changed the topic. Alas Ziyu, have you noticed why math teachers are incredibly intelligent? How do I know? Also, call me Dad. What's your name? Call Dad. What is it? Call Daddy. Oh my, I'm getting old and my ears are useless. What did you just say? Ma Dongmei. Hey. Whether or not to say it, our elementary school math teacher is also bald, Wang Xiaodong interjected, on the one hand, stating the facts, and on the other hand, shifting the topic to prevent 2 people from being Ma Dongmei in class. After hearing what you said, it's true that our elementary school math teacher is bald. Li Ziyu was already tired and took out a thermos while drinking, saying, by the way, and also, our middle school math teacher is bald, don't you know? Listening to your words is like listening to your words. I admire your talent. Wang Xiaodong was shocked by this nonsense and began to praise it. Ah, no need, just give your daughter to me and let it be my son. Li Ziyu is truly Li Ziyu, who never forgets his original intention and has a firm will. Hiss. Okay, let it go to you, but I want to be your brother. Tisk, okay, I'll approve it. Let's go to the restroom and worship. The two hugged each other's shoulders and walked towards the restroom. Only Su Tao-min was left alone and disorderly in his seat. Author, do you have any serious illness? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Li Ziyu invited 090218, Wang Xiaodong, and Su Tao-min to join the Author, do you have any serious illness group chat 090218. What does your group name mean? 090218, hurry up and make changes for me. Li Ziyu. I don't. 090218, hey, the little rabbit is still getting excited. 090218 use skill, author's power, to win the group leader. 090218 kick Li Ziyu out of the Author, do you have any serious illness group chat 090218. At Su Tao-min, at Wang Xiaodong, are you too moved? Wang Xiaodong. I dare not move. Su Tao-min +1 090218 invites Li Ziyu to join the group chat 090218. At Li Ziyu, what do you think? Li Ziyu 090218 kicked Li Ziyu out of group chat 090218. As expected, he is a civilized person, and there is not a word without foul language when cursing. Don't you know that only the author is the strongest in a novel? 090218, go west, let's start. 090218, do you have any opinions on the current personality structure? Su Tao-min. I have an opinion. 090218, hold it for me. Su Tao-min. No, hey, the author, this is your mistake. 090218 kicked Su Tao-min out of group chat 090218. Xiaodong, do you have any last words to say? Wang Xiaodong. Ah, there isn't. 090218, so why are you still staying here? Roll the calf. 090218 kicked Wang Xiaodong out of group chat 090218 kicked 090218 out of group chat. Characteristic 5. The kindness of strangers towards you is greater than that of brothers towards you. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Continuing from the previous book, Li Ziyu and Wang Xiaodong went to the restroom to pay respects. They entered a private room, known as the restroom compartment among students, and locked the door. Fortunately, no one was there, otherwise rumors would probably spread around before tomorrow. Think about it, the two men sneaked into the private restroom and even locked the door. You savor, you savor. Speaking of which. Li Ziyu and Wang Xiaodong bowed in the private room and said, all right, life and death, you understand. After a while, Su Tao-min looked at the two of them sitting in their seats and chuckling at him, suddenly feeling a bad premonition. Son, you now have a father and an uncle, who take turns recognizing relatives. Oh, that's right. I'll be the father today, he'll be the father tomorrow, and I'll be the father the day after tomorrow, hee. Playing so hard. By the way, what are you two doing in the restroom? I can even follow over and see it. Li Ziyu said, this person insisted on pulling me in and asking me to defecate for him to eat. Wang Xiaodong. Clam. Feature 6. No major features. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The second day, yes, it's the second day, Li Ziyu sat in his new seat, without knowing anyone next to him. Even Su Tao-min and Wang Xiaodong were 5 meters and 4.3 meters away. Forget it, I don't know anyone at all, and I don't remember many names. It's better to be a passerby, and the protagonist may not be very good either. Being independent of the world and being good at oneself is the most important thing. This is Li Ziyu, the basic values of being ordinary and doing oneself well, which is also the author's own. Do not need to be the star on stage, just become a small grass growing silently. Then take a look as an observer. This is District Number 3 Middle School, an ordinary junior high school, and the students are only ordinary junior high school students. Even the district where they are located is just an ordinary municipal district in an ordinary city, more than 100 kilometers away from the city center. Therefore, the ordinary residents of this district have a weak sense of identity with the city. Here is Class 78 of District 3 Middle School, just like Class 79 and Class 77, it is an ordinary class. The teachers inside are also ordinary teachers, and their students are also ordinary students. Here is our ordinary and ordinary world. Here, each of us has our own life, perhaps it is happy or perhaps it is unfortunate. However, it cannot be denied that it is in the hearts of each and every one of us, and we also love it, dedicating time and life to it. Here, it is full of what we love. Here, we don't need to be remembered by everyone, we just need to be ourselves and strive for our ideals and goals. Here, in your own heart, you are the brightest star on the stage of life. Here, I wish you the best of yourself. Also wish me continued normalcy. Feature 7. Strange Shapes and Shapes. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Book continuation from previous chapter, continue to use Liziu's power to take a look at Class 78 from an observer's perspective. Liziu's front desk is well defined, but this student's 32nd pair of chromosomes is XY, which means this student is a male. But to be honest, for some people, it doesn't matter if they are male. Name. Don't worry about the names, I'm afraid your brain will crash if you remember too many names at once. I said I was joking, do you believe it? Liziu's desk mate is a male classmate wearing glasses. Liziu's inner thoughts. WACROTIMABI How to do it all it's a man behind Liziu is a female classmate, and I am not sure about the specific situation. I am a male, and Liziu did not communicate due to his social anxiety nature. This reason is also one of the characteristics of many male students. Gender-based social anxiety, please refer to the following text for details. The homeroom teacher of Class 78 is their English teacher. I don't really understand what teacher people said, but one thing is certain. She will definitely love and kill her classmates in her future learning and life. In the first class meeting yesterday afternoon, a temporary class committee was born in an election with little technical content. Firstly, it is generally the class monitor who is most instructed by everyone. To be honest, the position of class monitor no longer holds much value. It's just about finding a student with good grades to work for the teacher. As for class leaders like those in novels, movies, and TV dramas who have outstanding looks, excellent grades, and are the supreme existence in the class, always putting on the attitude of deputy officials and always being the focus wherever they go, there are basically no class leaders in reality. The temporary class monitor of Class 78 was registered by herself and selected by the class teacher. She is a girl, and the most impressive thing is that when she speaks, she can almost become a broadcaster. By the way, 2 deputy class leaders have also been selected. Although the deputy class leader appears to have a status on the surface, his power is second only to the class leader. But besides playing a role in some things that the class monitor cannot handle, the deputy class is not even as busy as the publicity committee members who are not busy with other things, except for publishing bulletin boards once a month. And the student union. Wait a moment, where did the student union come from? Oh, I'm sorry, this should be the principal's office, also known as Zhongjing Happy Room. Note. Zhongjing refers to a principal whose advantage lies in me. Speech from 2023 to 2024. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. XINNIANQUIIA. Happy New Year. Hedat Ostet. Yeni Il. Vid I Re I Lumter. G. Zur Weiten E Re. Blien Nua F Ilt. GLE. Elegden, TTR. SCCZ, luego now ego roku. Froze nuis jar. Bon and AE. God NYT. R. Tahan Baru. Feliz Ano Novo. Tomorrow is the day. Feliz o Nuevo. Buon Ano Nuevo. Bonen Noven Jaren. Feature 8. Style can be easily changed. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Today is the second Monday since the start of the school year. After a week of sedimentation, Li Ziyu has almost started to get used to middle school life. Of course, except for entering the classroom 1 or 2 minutes before the start of morning reading and having a speed and passion with the bell. New courses like politics and history are also quite simple. Let's put it this way, he would never have thought that later he would warmly greet the 18th generation ancestors of political history books. When he got up, Li Ziyu's his mother and father had gone to work, as always. After brushing my teeth and washing my face, I stuffed a piece of bread into my mouth and left. There's no other way. Who's calling this SHBI school booking such an early arrival time? Studying a few minutes less will not hinder those who should attend Tsinghua from attending Tsinghua, and those who should attend vocational school from attending vocational school. At this moment, Li Ziyu was thinking and humming a song while walking on the sidewalk. At this moment, there was no expression on his face, and why did he have an expression? He didn't win the lottery again, did he? So in the eyes of outsiders, Li Ziyu is very indifferent. Entering the classroom where DNA has gradually been engraved, he said, "Homework, hurry up, I need to submit it." In the daily work reminders of the 4 team leaders in English and Chinese, fortunately there was no political homework yesterday, otherwise there would be another political team leader coming to urge. Now, Li Ziyu is using the nationwide dog-digging method to search for homework one by one, then stuffing the unrelated books into his backpack. He raises his head and shouts to the distant team leader, and then flies the homework out. Whether he can pick it up or not depends on the team leader's cultivation. However, Li Ziyu's team leader's cultivation is still good, and he catches the flying book in one go. In the eyes of his classmates, Li Ziyu was a dog at this moment, but no one would laugh at him because they themselves were like this. After the morning's class, we arrived at the popular dry meal segment. To be honest, although it's more than an order of magnitude better than our schools before, it's still unpleasant. If you have something to eat, it's good. Choose a sweater. Yes, wow, can you be satisfied? Let me tell you, it's just my elementary school cafeteria. Let me tell you, let me tell you, the zucchini in the cafeteria are real it tastes terrible. Bitter, salty, light, sweet, and spicy, you never know what the next slice will taste like. Those who didn't know thought you were a literary and artistic youth, talking about the taste of life. You're just saying zucchini. Here from this, it can be seen that the members of class 78 are now just a group of foodies, abbreviated as dogs. From the above, it can be concluded that a student's personality is essentially unchanged, but on the surface, it can be easily switched. However, after wearing the mask for a long time, the face will always become the appearance of the mask, right?